Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is Ivan Ju. I teach international business at Cerritos College. Today, we'll examine a real world example of foreign direct investment, or FDI. Specifically, we'll discuss why Mazda and Toyota chose Alabama as the location for a major automobile assembly plant. We'll analyze three key questions. What factors influence their location decision? Who benefits and who loses from this investment? How does this decision fit within Dunning's eclectic theory, also known as the OLI framework? This case illustrates how multinational corporations make strategic investment decisions and how those decisions affect multiple stakeholders. So let's begin. Mazda and Toyota formed a joint venture to build a new automobile assembly plant in Alabama. The project represented an investment of approximately $1.6 billion and created thousands of jobs. This investment is an example of foreign direct investment because Japanese companies invested directly in productive facilities located in the United States. Instead of exporting vehicles from Japan, the companies chose to manufacture vehicles closer to American consumers. As we move through this case, think about the following question. Why Alabama? Many states competed for this investment, yet Alabama was selected. When multinational firms evaluate investment opportunities, they consider numerous factors. For Mazda and Toyota, several important advantages stood out. Lower labor costs, skilled workforce, existing automotive industry presence, transportation infrastructure, government incentives, market access, business-friendly policies. The primary objective was straightforward: minimize production costs while maximizing efficiency and market access. This is consistent with the economic logic behind many international investment decisions. Labor is one of the largest expenses in automobile manufacturing. Alabama had offered several workforce advantages. First, wages were generally lower than those in traditional automotive states such as Michigan. Second, Alabama had developed a manufacturing culture due to the presence of other automobile companies. Third, workforce training programs helped ensure workers had the necessary technical skills. Finally, Alabama's lower utilization rates provided firms with greater flexibility in labor management. Together, these factors reduced labor costs and improved operational flexibility. Another important consideration is Alabama's growing automotive cluster. Major automakers already are operating in Alabama, and these include Mercedes-Benz, Honda, and Hyundai. When similar companies locate near one another, they create what economists call an industrial cluster. Benefits include shared suppliers, specialized labor pools, knowledge sharing, reduced transportation costs. Clusters often create efficiencies that lower operating costs and improve competitiveness. Location matters greatly in the automotive industry. Alabama provides excellent transportation infrastructure, including interstate highways, rail networks, access to Gulf Coast ports. These transportation systems allow parts to arrive efficiently and finished vehicles to be shipped quickly. From a market perspective, Alabama is well positioned to serve customers throughout the southeastern United States, one of the fastest growing regions in the country. Producing vehicles in the United States also helps reduce tariff risk and currency exchange exposure. Large investments create benefits for multiple groups. For local employees, thousands of jobs are created. Workers earn wages and benefits. For the Alabama economy, this increases spend for stimulating economic growth. Tax revenues increase. For suppliers, they gain new customers and contracts. For Mazda and Toyota, it means cost reduction, improving market access, and increasing competitiveness. For consumers, they potentially benefit from lower prices, gaining faster access to vehicles. This demonstrates how FDI can generate widespread economic benefits. However, every investment decision also creates costs. Competing states. States that were not selected lose potential jobs and tax revenues. Foreign workers. Some manufacturing jobs that might have remained in Japan or elsewhere may shift to Alabama. Taxpayers. Government incentives often involve public funds or tax breaks. Competitors. Other automakers face stronger competition from Mazda and Toyota. This reminds us that globalization often creates both winners and losers. To understand why firms invest abroad, we turn to economist John Dunning. Dunning proposed the OLI framework. O stands for ownership advantages, L stands for location advantages, I stands for internalization advantages. According to Dunning, firms engage in foreign direct investment when all three advantages exist simultaneously. Let's examine each one. Ownership advantages are unique resources that give firms a competitive advantage. Mazda and Toyota possess strong brands, advanced technology, engineering expertise, global supply chains, financial strength. These assets allow them to compete effectively in foreign markets. A local startup cannot easily replicate these capabilities. Therefore, the ownership component of the OLI is clearly present. Location advantages refer to characteristics of a specific location that make investment attractive. Alabama offers lower labor costs, skilled workers, established supplier networks, excellent infrastructure, government incentives, and access to customers. These advantages make Alabama a more attractive production site than many alternative locations. Therefore, the location component of OLI is also satisfied. The final component is internalization. Mazda and Toyota could have licensed their technology to another manufacturer. Instead, they chose direct ownership and control. Why is that? It's because internalization allows firms to maintain quality standards, protect proprietary technology, coordinate supply chains, protect brand reputation, reduce transaction costs. Direct ownership gives management greater control over production and strategic decisions. Thus, the internalization component is present as well. So let's summarize. Ownership advantages. These would include the brands, technology, and manufacturing expertise. Location advantages. Alabama workforce, infrastructure, and incentives. Internalization advantages. Direct control of operations, protection of intellectual property. Since all three components exist, Dunning's theory predicts that foreign direct investment should occur, and that is exactly what happened. So let's review our main findings. First, Alabama offered attractive economic and strategic advantages. Second, the investment generated benefits for workers, businesses, consumers, and the companies themselves. Third, some stakeholders, including competing states and certain foreign workers, may experience negative effects. Finally, Mazda and Toyota's investment strongly supports Dunning's eclectic theory. This case provides an excellent example of how multinational corporations evaluate international investment opportunities. Here are some discussion questions. Which factor do you believe was most important in Alabama's selection? Should governments provide incentives to attract foreign investors? Do the benefits justify the cost of taxpayers? If tariffs and trade barriers disappeared completely, would Mazda and Toyota still build the plant in Alabama? These questions highlight the ongoing debate surrounding globalization, foreign investment, and economic development. So thank you, everyone. I hope you all have found this useful. Please be sure to reach out if you have any questions. Take care, and I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye for now.